the first 30 minutes of this movie are just so unflinching. It's just you see Janai just being dealt blow after blow and seeing like what you may not always see when you may read a headline about something that goes wrong with someone.
Yeah.
So why do you think it was so important for those that intro act to this movie to be, so, for lack of a better term, heavy-handed to show what exactly led up to this moment? Why do you think that was important to show?
Well, when humans reach their breaking point or their last straw, there's always a why. It's never just I snapped. Like there's something that pushes a person. And I'm always interested in that why.
Yeah.
What drove this person to do that? And I think once we find that out, then you can show a little more grace or have a little more empathy.
For sure. And I think that it also points out like, even like the smallest of interactions that you may have with someone that may be their show. You can interact with someone, you know what they may have interacted with before that day. You know what they could have been through. And I think the way the movie positions it just shows like how, even though you may not think that may have an impact on that person, but that may be just like one moment in a larger focus of what's going on with them.
Absolutely. Like I always go, sometimes we take for granted that we wake up that's, in the morning. When you ask someone, how you doing? Sometimes we just say it in passing. But I try to make a point, an effort to really ask, how are you doing? And really care. Because that could be the very interaction that could save a human's life.
Yeah.
Because they feel seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've had such a very fruitful relationship with Tyler Perry over the years. This is the 4th collaboration that you've done. What do you think keeps collaboration fresh between an actor and director, especially when you work with several times? How do you make sure that you're doing something new and different and expanding these worlds within the film?
Well, I think that one is a very high mutual respect for each other. We're both Virgos, so we understand the way our brains work. Also, Tyler is always challenging himself, and then he also challenges me. Every time he comes to me with another script, he takes it up another notch. And I'm always excited, and I love challenges.
Yeah. And what was it like working with Teyana Taylor, someone who also another Tyler Perry veteran, and then Sherri Shepherd, who I think this is maybe different for audiences to see her in a role like this too. I think it was like it shows that like it wouldn't be no surprise that Black women are the backbone of a film like this, showing like the onus that gets put on Black women.
Yeah. Well, I think for Sherri, I think was refreshing yes, we saw her in Precious, but in this one, you really get to see her shine as a dramatic actress, because we all know her as Funny Sherri, the comedian. But I also believe that comedians make stronger dramatic actors because their humor is what shields them and protects their heart, or their pain. And so it's lovely to see her in this light, and she kills it. Teyana Taylor is amazing. We all know that. But I didn't really get to work with her in this.
Yeah.
So Teyana, we need a do-over.
There needs to be a cut of this movie with, actually them interacting.
Exactly.
Not just over the phone.
It's over the phone, but a lot of times I wasn't on set because I was working on fight night. So he shot me out in 4 days on Straw.
Yeah, wow.
But so the days that Teyana had to work, Tyler was reading my lines for her.
Yeah.
So we never really interacted with each other until the very end of the movie.
Yeah. So I guess now, once you're watching the film now, you can actually put yourself in the shoes of what it would have been like if you were actually working with her.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. That's why we need a duo.
So why do you think that it was important to have such a heart-wrenching journey to start this film before it kind of gets into like the bank heist mode, unintentional bank heist mode that it does?
I think you really had to develop an empathy and a compassion for Janaya, because it's easy in our lives to sit in a place of judgment of this type of person, a person that you may see disheveled, a person you may see her with all this stuff on the ground. We thinking, well, you must not have paid your rent, so you must have done something wrong. And I think that really Tyler had to show this character, you had to be a witness to everything that was going for her, and that she played by the rules. She really tried, but it was weaponized against her before you got onto the other stuff. You had to have a heart connection first.
Yeah. One thing that I like about this movie, one of my favorite scenes is when she they're giving her the money, and she's like, I mean, I just wanted my check. I just
Right,
wanted this amount of
y'all
my
can listen,
check.
that's it.
Like, why she give me all this money? And it's just like, wow, she just really want enough to like make it through for what she needed.
She want her check.
Yeah.
Operating in integrity. This
Yeah.
was not a person who was trying to scam anybody. She just was trying to take care of her child. And I think that people watching that, hopefully you get that empathy and can connect with her on that level of, I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And Teyana, this is your first Tyler Perry film in a while. I was telling my mom, I was like, oh, I'm doing interviews with Tyler Perry movie that has, Sherri Shepherd, Taraji, and Teyana Taylor. She was like, I don't think I know Teyana. And I was like, yes, you do. You've seen the movie. She's like, bye, Rain. So I'm thinking about how, you've had so many different acting roles since then, award-nominated acting roles since then. What's it like to kind of return to a director who gave you one of your first, major studio roles?
It was a cookout. That family barbecue, that was a family reunion, and it felt so good. It felt so good, and it was so needed. It was so necessary. It was so safe. Yeah. And I enjoyed every bit of it. And then to be surrounded by amazing women like Sherri and Taraji was just like, it was just chef kiss. It was just like the perfect situation at such a necessary time. And that was nothing but like God. That was God's plan, and that was something that was already written. And yeah, that's just how it was.
And you're also playing a character that's a little bit different from roles that you've had before.
Yeah, exactly.
I was very believing the police officer.
Thank you. It was the Bob.
It was the Bob.
It was the Bob. I knew. He said it was a detective. Bob. Right. With that little flip at the end, I said, yes, I'm doing this. I get to step out of it and do something. Of course, I came from a heavy role with 1001, but I was like, I get to be on the other side. Still a mother. Still a Black woman. Yeah. But now in a different space. And it goes to show that no matter how many characters you take on, one thing that is all the same is that we are still mothers before anything, So you are a mother before your struggle. You are a mother before the gun, the badge, all of the things that don't come to play, Bob, all of the things. We were all mothers, and we showed up for one another. And, it was real sisterhood, and it was sisterhood that was filled with compassion, and it was empathetic. And
I love that all of our characters were all fighting to be seen in different ways. Yeah. Like I came from an affluent bank to in this neighborhood because I wanted to be seen. I wanted to make a difference. You had to fight to be seen because you got all these men that was just taking over and messing everything up, and just having to fight to be seen and acknowledged. So all three of us still had that through line. In addition, yes, being mothers, but we were all fighting to be seen. Yeah. And we had to come together.
This is your first serious role in a while too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good to see, the range pop out for this role.
Yeah, it was, stepping out of your comfort zone is always a great thing because you don't grow unless you step out of your comfort zone. So the thing to work with Tyler Perry, when he told me Taraji's doing it and Teyana signed on, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like it. Yeah. Who wouldn't say no to that?